points means money. Pure and simple.
My name is Karen Kasverik, and I'm from Gerard Place. And what Dale's saying, I was kind of told I had to do it for the points, but
you're getting ahead.
We're getting ahead.
It's going to be worth points on the next application.
And I have a lot of clients that don't know the whole process and everything, so try to help them out.
I'm Sharon Egan from the New York State Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance, and Shirley Monaghan and I work together. We process Social Security disability claims, so we're here more to answer any questions you might have if your clients need assistance in applying for Social Security disability. I'm Shirley Monaghan.
Great.
I'm Rosa Fernandez, and I'm from Catholic Charities, and I'm here to plan.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and I know Leslie from Social Security isn't here, and David, who normally attends from. Yeah, you're representing David, so we greatly appreciate that. We can have some representation from your office here. It's a great help. Oh, and we also have participants on GoToMeeting. So Kim, do you want to introduce yourself? Kim?
Lost
her. Okay, she's on the line. Okay, so well, Kim, it doesn't seem we can hear you, but Kim Tolley's on the line. She's from the Buffalo City Mission. She's currently going through the training right now online. I talked to her briefly before this meeting. She's very interested. She's excited that we're kind of building this community where we can kind of have a dialogue with the people evaluating these applications, and also try to improve approval ratings throughout the area. So yeah, we can get started. So let's see. So yeah, so just the intro. SOAR works. SOAR, it stands for SSI, SSDI, Outreach, Access, and Recovery. It's a program, like Dale said, to increase access to public benefits to those experiencing homelessness, but also at risk for homelessness. So what it does is allow the case manager to take a more active role in getting materials to make a more complete application. So the idea is that Social Security and Office of Temporary Disability, they get more complete, thorough applications on the initial submission. So we can go forward from here. So this is the SOAR progress so far in Western New York. On the left, we have agencies with completed SOAR training. It includes the Homeless Alliance, Altamont Veterans Program, Western New York Independent Living in the Genesee region, Spectrum Human Services, Evergreen, Restoration Society, Plymouth Crossroads, and Living Opportunities of DePaul. One observation from this list is that since the Homeless Alliance has broadened our COC to include a 5-county region, which includes Erie, Niagara, Genesee, Orleans, Wyoming, we actually have representation from Wyoming County with DePaul, and also independent living in the Genesee region. So we're taking a regional approach to this, trying to get more people involved, getting more people trained. And then agencies in the pipeline for trainings, Gerard Place, Restoration Society, Catholic Charities, Matt Urban, Haven House, the TRI program, Veterans Outreach Center, and we also have some student interns from Medaille also in the pipeline. So this is really important because, like Dale and Karen said, having more people trained in SOAR, it has our continuum of care points go up, which is generally better for the entire region, means more money to support the services for homeless people in the region. So it's really, that's why we're pushing this program, and that's why it's going to be a great benefit.
Andrew, when you mean, when you mean pipeline, that we're in the process of doing the training?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I completed.
Yeah. Oh, so
It doesn't matter, but I'm just,
okay.
She wants to
I want to make myself feel better.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, progress it's happening. More people are getting trained. We don't have any SOAR application, or we have some SOAR applications going through right now. I don't know if Anton, did you get a chance to work? Okay. Okay. Well, we're really excited about this. So if you, whatever kind of decision you do get, we want to hear about it. We want to celebrate with you. Because once the program gets going and once people start seeing that it works, I'm predicting that more and more people are going to want to get trained. Also, because it's good for the continuum of care community.
You have an application.
I have 2. Actually.
Oh, you have 2 in? That's great. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Once we get the first.
Oh, wait. All right, we're on the go-to meeting. Do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yes, Sophia Francis from the TRI program.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you just caught us. So we just started talking about SOAR Progress in Western New York. We went over the programs that have completed the SOAR online training. And if you're in the pipeline, we encourage you to keep going with the training. I know it kind of takes a long time. It consists of 7 classes. We normally advertise that you normally set aside about a month to complete the training. And also you have to submit applications, forms, just like how you would for a normal SSI or SSDI application. All right, so moving on. Okay, so once you're trained, we offer a SOAR fundamentals training. I know we have some graduates in the room with us right now talking about the SOAR fundamentals training. So what it is, once you get trained, you're invited to a 1-day training for those who have completed the SOAR online course. It's a good opportunity to ask questions and learn about recording results in the online application tracking. So the first fundamentals training was on January 28th. Do either of you have any kind of reflection from the fundamentals training? You think it was like a good, something that we're introduced to that you felt beneficial?
I think we're just talk about all the concerns or issues or we're going with it, bad things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from this group, I thought that was good.
Okay. Yeah. Same thing. Okay. Yeah. So the SOAR fundamentals training also provides the trained SOAR case managers with contacts to SSA and the disability determination. So it kind of it creates even a better community for it creates like an even better community for people who are completing these applications. There's a support network of people. You get to see your peers who are completing these applications as well. And also, it makes it a more personal experience talking with SSA. You get to ask them, what exactly am I missing in this application? And also, you get to ask great reserved for those who have completed the online and attend the fundamentals training. So the next fundamentals training is going to be on April 28th. So we decided that we're going to have these trainings every 3 months or as needed. So if you're in the pipeline or the SOAR training, we encourage you to complete it by so that you will be invited to the fundamentals training. All right. So just a basic overview of what is involved in the SOAR fundamentals training. You go over the basics. You talk about who is a SOAR applicant, about how strategies for engaging the applicants in the application process. We go over the local process and of the SSA form. We talk about populations like the plot of the SOAR. We also talk about the appeal process and how you can use the SOAR process with appeals, and also how to move forward. All right, so next, some of you might already, but the Homeless Alliance part of our so the Homeless Alliance website, SOAR resource. So if you go to NYHomeless under the SOAR should be, and you click that. See a bunch of resources, what the SOAR process is, a little video explaining how SOAR is different from the conventional application. It also a lot of useful information. It also goes over how to establish a effective filing date for your application, how to different links to useful resources like setting up a My Social Security account for your applicant, for your client. The process talks about a little bit how these applications are evaluated. And also all the forms that are involved in a SOAR application, and we have links to every single form here. Let's see. And we also have some information about different hospitals and medical providers in the area and different ways of medical records for your client. One of the things that I'm going to do is kind of be a liaison between medical providers and case managers. So if you need help getting medical records, or you need help kind of establishing a connection with a hospital or some kind of medical provider, let me know so I can try to a little less feedback. So I'm going to mute you guys on GoToMeeting right now, if that's okay, just because we're getting a little feedback. All right. So another thing that we go over in the fundamentals training is the Disability Blue Book. So with the fundamentals training, we kind of talk about how applications are evaluated, how SSA makes a non-medical decision, and how the Office of Disability makes a medical decision on the application. So one of those resources is through the Blue Book, and what this does is shows different diagnoses and how it might impair function. So this is a very useful resource if you want to kind of get in the mindset of how your application might be evaluated. So the Blue Book is a very good resource if you want to know how to kind of express the disability and function of your applicant and why they need these benefits. All right, so, but better than me telling you how the Office of Disability makes a decision, maybe we can just have a representative from the OTDA tell us how these applications are evaluated generally speaking.
That's
That's
not something that you can actually answer. Each application is looked at individually by a person as opposed to just computerized type data. But there are so many variables that it's impossible to give just a blanket statement.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that is of utmost importance, I think, I could be wrong, not being familiar with SOAR, but in order for us to deal with anyone from SOAR, you'll first need to have the rep form in file, the 1696. Without that, we can't talk to you at all. So once you have that, then any specific questions you have, we can at least have a dialogue with you and answer it. From the initial application, oh boy. Yeah, when the initial application is filled out, you're going to provide what is the disability that's being alleged for the applicant and any medical sources that they have. One of the biggest issues that I've had personally in dealing with homeless individuals is they very often don't have a treating source. There aren't medical records out there for us to even get. So what ultimately seems to be happening with those cases in general is that a consultative exam has to be ordered so we can obtain some objective medical evidence for this claim. This is where if the SOAR person is a rep on the claim, then we can at least make sure that you know when you'll get a copy of their consultative exam appointment information. And I would like to know, can the SOAR person take them or help them at all, or is this?
Yeah, so
that's fabulous.
Right, yeah. So one of the elements of SOAR is that the case manager kind of facilitates this whole process.
Okay.
So the idea is that if there is a lack of resources, we want the SOAR case manager to set up that medical evaluation ahead of time before the application is submitted so that you guys won't have to.
That doesn't happen.
That doesn't, you're right.
Because that's generated through our office. First, the application comes in. You're talking about for the consultative exam? Setting that up ahead of time?
Yeah, I'm saying if there isn't, if there is a lack of medical evidence, that we encourage the SOAR case manager to schedule some kind of like psych evaluation or physical evaluation independently.
Resources?
Right.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
That at least gives us something.
Yeah.
But yes, I misunderstood you. I'm sorry. Okay. Anything that you can have to get that in, so there is some information for us to view is very helpful. Otherwise, you just have an allegation and then you've got the consultative exam. It's a snapshot that it doesn't give a whole lot.
Right.
If you have some background information that you guys have been able to establish, that's at least a second piece besides this presentation with the exam. The activities of daily living form is of extreme importance in those cases because it tells what's going on and how they're managing on a daily basis. And for homeless people, if you're the person as the rep that's helping to fill that out, you can give us a better idea. How do they function? How are they managing through their day? If they just put down there, yes, they can cook and clean and shower and do all these things. Well, yeah, maybe they can with someone prompting, with someone helping. That type of information is very helpful. So if you, as the rep, help them with this form, it's perfectly okay for someone else to fill it out for them. But that's noted on the form that there was someone helping. So that at least helps to explain some of the difficulties that these people may be dealing with daily, as opposed to, just answering a yes or no kind of thing that yes, it gets done.
Right. And would you say that the more complete an initial application is, the faster it kind of gets a decision, or the faster turnaround there is?
I can't give you a yes or no probably on anything you would ask. The reason
Yeah, no
Even
guarantees.
if you have, like, their treating source information in there, we send form right away.
Mhm.
But some treating sources don't answer,
Mhm.
will answer, but they might answer 2 months later.
Mhm.
You know, I've gotten medical evidence on a claim that was decided months ago.
Right.
So there isn't a thing, it at least helps us, it speeds it up as much as possible.
Right.
If you have the complete information and we can send for the records immediately, or if there are none, then we know to order a consultative exam immediately. That's certainly going to help.
Mhm.
If the correct address is on there, the correct phone number, if we get the information from you and it's the wrong information, we've sent it out, now we have to wait for a postal return, then try to track down the correct address, then resend it. All of these things add the processing time.
Right. Right. So
Yes, it's the most advantageous, the best information that can give us the most complete and correct on the application will at least shorten that, but we can't say like, okay, if you have all your stuff, then 30 days you got your answer. We don't
Right.
know.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely on a case-to-case basis.
Right.
Something. Definitely understand that. But hopefully through the SOAR process, we'll be able to give you guys more complete applications. I mean, the idea is to speed up the process, but I know it's not guaranteed. I mean,
Right.
because it is a case-to-case basis.
Can I ask something? Or questions later?
Yeah,
Okay.
we should. We'll get there pretty soon. So so yeah, Hani is a resource. I showed you that website. I showed you the Blue Book, which is a good way to kind of think of disability, kind of linking the disability to the function of your client. And also, let's see, a good resource would be if you just want to see the status of your client. A good idea would be to set up a My Social Security account to just kind of see what their status is, if they have any pending claims, things like that. Okay. And also with, so a complete SOAR packet includes all these items. It might seem like a lot of paperwork, but the SOAR process in the long run will promote complete, thorough applications. And nationally, this process is seeing high approval ratings with faster turnaround, which it is on a case-to-case basis, but generally speaking, that's what people are seeing across the country. So that's why we want to bring it here. That's why we want to see this process being utilized, because it is a great resource. So the completed SOAR packet, we have the SOAR checklist with the cover sheet, the SSA 1696, which we talked about being appointed a representative. That's very important. The 827 authorized to disclose to SSA. The 8,000. We also have an MSR report, which is something unique to the SOAR process. It's a letter describing kind of. It's a letter describing the function and disability of your applicant, and we advertise that we want the MSR to be co-signed by a physician. Yeah, that might be kind of difficult. If you can have that happen, that's fantastic, because it has the MSR. It supports that as a legitimate document even more so if you get a physician's signature. So copies of all medical records in chronological order, that's very important. Like we were talking about before, if the medical records are more complete, it has the Office of Disability question kind of the function and disability a little bit less. So let's see. Okay, so I have this section of the meeting to just open to be a dialogue with SSA, because like I said before, better than me telling you how your applications are evaluated and determined, it's better to have an actual person who's doing the evaluations tell you what's happening. So if anyone has any questions for our two representatives here, it'd be great.
I got a few, if that's okay. My first question is, I guess I've had a few clients, regardless of what I say, they've called in to actually do a phone interview and then had an appointment, somebody called them back or whatever, and then I was trained through the SOAR process and told them after that, make sure you tell the representative, because I wasn't going to be there, who's calling you for your application, that I am a SOAR representative. So they took the information, whatever, but then I was never given the chance to submit any documents or anything to Social Security because they said, no, you have to do that, even though I had these are mental health cases. All the mental health information, doctor's reports, you name it, I mean, from the last 10 years. But the Social Security Administration person told me, no, that's for you guys to send that out to these people that I have already, and that I couldn't submit it. So I was baffled by that.
That, I can't answer
Yeah, okay.
to the Social Security Administration.
Mm-hmm.
Say from DDS.
Well, I'm assuming it was DDS. I mean, maybe I'm using the wrong terms.
No, the phone application, that's the Social Security Administration, that's not us. The application starts out with the Social Security office, and then it's sent to DDS, sent for us for disability determination.
So you can't do a call-in. So all these people that are doing the call-ins, it's the wrong application?
That's not my office at all.
Right.
The application starts at Social Security, okay? The Social Security Administration, your
The phone
appointment
call.
and all of that, it's like going to the Social Security office.
Right.
They are the ones that do the initial determination whether or not, like if it's a financial thing that they qualify or not or whatever. But then once they have the application, they send it to disability determinations for workup. Then we request medical records, the whole process begins, we don't schedule.
Right.
We request the consultative exams, and it's all the application and all of the information in file is reviewed, the determination is made, and then the determination goes back to the Social Security office. So what you're saying about that initial application process, the phone and submitting that doesn't come to us initially.
But that's the phone call, though. You make the phone. She made the phone
That's
call.
not our office.
Yeah.
Right. I hear what you're saying, but maybe I'm confused. You make that call, and they call you back and take the information. Then the information that they have, they give to you, correct?
Right.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I don't know what's missing in between there, because then the information that you are going to collect, I had it all.
Oh, I see.
So I'm trying to say, if I have it all, and that person from the phone call says, well, that's not my job to do that, even though I'm telling them I have it all, so why make you work harder, or this person wait longer?
Okay, so your question is about submitting the medical records that you already have?
Yes, but
Okay.
she already called and made that appointment, so that would be whatever, the point of entry is that, what are we calling it? I forget now.
Yeah, well, the protective filing date.
Protective filing date, I'm sorry, I keep saying that wrong. But, so we already had that, we didn't want to lose that.
Right, you don't.
So I guess that's where I'm confused. I have quite a few people that have called in, and then I'm like, okay, well, I have all this stuff, so why am I not giving it?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm not sure how that works with the medical records. No, not for the, but for her to submit them with, she's not going to get any information unless she's not as a rep. Right? That's the first thing you have to do. Once you
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying, I've done all that.
You've already got the 1696?
Everything that we've been through this training is all done.
Yeah, I believe you would have to submit all those documents to
DDS.
Well, and I was told our SOAR representative now, because I'm in appeal for that one. Which that's my next question, but I'm in appeal, and she's told me to send all the hard copies directly to her, and she'll know it's SOAR and would submit them to the appropriate people.
What happens for us in our office, sometimes we get the claims from SSA, and like I said, I don't know
Right.
what they're doing there. I don't work there.
Right.
So, all right, we'll get a claim. Some do have medical records with them, okay, that people submit at the time. Others do not. and then they come, we get them after the fact. Now, what you're saying is, how are you going to submit medical records over the phone? You're not going to be able to do that anyway if you're doing the application over the phone.
Right, but I had them, instead of waiting, like you said, you know what, you might already deny the case because you haven't got the medical records back from the doctors. It's 3 months later, but I have them today. And I can get it, but there's nobody to send them to.
Right, well, you'll have to wait until there's the contact from the disability determination office to the claimant. If you're on as a rep, you're going to get a copy of everything that's sent to that claimant. So then you'll know, now you'll have a contact, now you'll know who the claim is assigned to and a phone number and a contact person to reach out to. Then you would call that person and say, I have these medical records I want to submit.
Or are you suggesting, I don't know what's easier, because a lot of, well, or are you suggesting just to have them fill out the application from the get-go with the information and I send it all in? Instead of making that phone call? I don't know, I'm just looking for advice, I don't know if you guys can give it.
Okay, my answer to that would be if this were my claim or my family member's claim, I would send it in with the application and I would also send it again to DDS. I would rather have it go twice than get lost in the shuffle or something. Is the scanner broken? How are they doing? I don't know how the information moves from SSA to us. So if it were mine, I would do both. I would make 2 copies, 3. Keep one, I'd put one with my application, and then I would make sure that DDS got that information.
Yeah. And I mean, it's my understanding that that through the SOAR process that you submit everything to Social Security initially.
So don't do the phone call, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Or ask.
Yeah. So,
I'm saying people want to do the phone call because you're done in like, 20 minutes.
right, but there's no supporting evidence or documents associated with the phone call. It's just a phone call. So you can do the phone.
Your protected filing date.
Right.
Yes. I wouldn't delay it by moving that date.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest thing would be you following up. Once you know who your contact person is with DDS, you get in touch with that person and you can find out what records they do or don't have and mail in everything that you have.
Because if we're on there as a representative, you're going to send us something saying you're working on the process?
The forms, the ADLs, and that will be sent out, work history forms, things like that.
Okay.
Sometimes you send it in, do you fill that out and send ADL forms?
What is ADL?
I'm sorry, activity.
Oh, yeah.
Living.
I have, yes.
Yeah, okay. So but generally there's something that's coming out from us, like the work history we'd have to ask and.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I was going to give you a form, and it would go to you and the claimant at the end of that.
So now I'm in appeal for this girl because she was denied. I'm in an appeal process, and actually I just submitted it this morning. I have other paperwork, but I went through the appeal process online. I wish I brought her paperwork. Did that, and I could attach some files, extra files that I wrote, the MSR and a couple other things. I attached that and submitted that, but I have the hard copies. I'm going to mail them out, but I'm just thinking, what if now that's online and that's submitted and you see that, but you don't get the paper trail that has other documents that I couldn't attach?
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so now I just want.
Let me stop you 1 second. I'm sorry about how convoluted the process is. Believe me.
No, I know. I just want to make sure I understand it.
We're following the breadcrumb trail ourselves. All right. Here, what you've asked me is yet a different thing. You've got the Social Security office, then you've got disability determinations, and then you've got the appeals, which is a completely different office as well. That's not us. So I can't. You're going to have a contact person at each of these spots. So my suggestion would be for the appeals thing that you also reach out to that contact person and let them know that you have these additional records.
And that's on the denial letter?
No.
Then how would I know who the appeals person is?
That's the same thing. You're going to get correspondence from them.
Yeah, if you file an appeal.
Which I did online.
The case will be assigned to somebody.
But how do I know who that worker is?
You're going to get correspondence from them, from that office. The
Okay.
same as you do from the disability.
So I have to wait with the physical paperwork, the extra stuff I have until I would get something from.
Whatever your, you've got the 800 number, I believe, on your denial letter. for
Yeah, I have to
filing
look
an
at it.
appeal.
I'm sure there is, yes.
Yeah, so what I would do is, once you file the appeal, I would probably wait a week and call and say, you know, has this been assigned? Can you tell me who I'm dealing with?
Because I was told by Leslie
Mhm.
to take all that paperwork, submit it to her with SOAR on it, and she would get it to the right people.
Oh, really?
So that's why I
Is
guess I'm
SSA?
hearing all different
yeah.
kinds of
Okay,
things.
all right.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
sorry, I'm so confused.
but could,
No,
I wanna.
yeah,
Well,
so,
I just want to make sure we're doing the, and I'm sure anybody else has submitted one, you're gonna be in the same boat I am, but,
Mhm.
um,
well, sorry,
go
but,
ahead. No, I could sit here all day, I guess, but,
yeah, so,
No, it is, it's very confusing, and if that's what she said for you to do, then unfortunately, we've just got a tiny little section of it, and that,
well, I'm gonna do that, but then I'm going to look at, I'm waiting for, hopefully, if somebody will send me something from appeals that I can send that to.
mhm.
So you
use
can
that
maybe
800 number, though,
get it 10
and say,
times to 10 different people, I don't know, right?
I don't know what.
No, but I'm just saying, you said, make copies, send it to the, send it 3-4 times if you have to, but I just want to make sure that somebody's getting it.
Right, at that office, I don't know the process, but I would do the same thing. I would look for my contact person. If you haven't gotten anything, then call the 800 number. You can keep calling them until it gets assigned, and then find out who you're dealing with and ask them what medical records they do have in file and tell them you want to submit these. So you can mail them or fax them or whatever, and follow up to make sure. The best thing that you could do is take that proactive approach
Right.
and say, okay, this is what you have. You get your contact person, you check with them, what do you have in file, and I have something. You can submit anything you want, so you're better off. That's what I'm saying. I know it's duplicative.
No, that's okay. I'd rather-
From a practical standpoint,
Sure.
that's what I would do if it were my own claim, just to make sure. Because if it's lost in the shuffle somewhere, you have no way of knowing. You're saying you submitted, these records with the initial application, but you don't see what we're looking at, so you wouldn't know if page 8 is missing. And I don't know it's missing because I don't know what you put in, Hopefully it's all there, and the system does work very well. So, but anything can happen, so I would just double back.
So would it be safe to say that once, say you got a denial letter on an application, would it be safe to say that a case manager can reach out to disability with the 1696 form and ask and inquire about that denial, like what was missing from that application?
It wouldn't be our office though.
Okay, it would be
Then
the
you'd
appeal
be-
office?
Yes.
Okay,
But the appeals hasn't looked at it.
well,
It starts with Social Security,
right,
comes to us. Once we make a decision in our office, we don't see it again.
Right.
That's it. It goes back to Social Security, and then if you do the appeal, it moves on from there. So if you call us and say, what's going on with my appeal, we don't know.
Well, could
We'll
you
say,
tell us what was missing that you denied it?
No.
You can't
No?
tell us that, so
So
then,
the folder's now with them. It's not no, like I said, I don't know what you did or didn't have in.
but if we called you because, and I know your name's not gonna be on it, okay, your name's on it that you denied this client, can I call you and say, hey, why did you deny my client? Even though you passed it to appeals, you're not gonna tell us why. It should be on the paper why they were denied, of course, but we can't call you for advice to say, okay, maybe you should submit a lengthier activities and daily living than you did, or you can't do
We wouldn't get a
that.
single decision out in a day.
Okay,
If it
all right,
was
is that what you're
seriously,
saying?
Yeah.
We
is that what you're
can't.
saying? Yeah,
mhm,
because it goes to appeal, okay.
okay. Hmm. Well,
And there's no
Yeah.
one reason why somebody is denied.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
You can't say, oh, well, we didn't have so-and-so's record, so he was denied. We wouldn't make a decision unless we had enough information to make a decision.
or with the exception of failure to cooperate. If they don't attend the CEs or they don't submit the forms. So if we ask for the ADLs and none of this is provided, then it can be denied failure to cooperate or insufficient information. That's a very clear cut thing. Other than that, I mean, the guidelines that we use are half the length of this table.
Yeah.
So if you say, which one? Okay, well, that, you know, it's just, it's too much. Your best bet is doing exactly what you're doing. You've got an advocate to help this person. We need to be able to find them. We need a contact to talk to. If I don't, or if I get the ADLs and they're incomplete and I need more information about them, then I can call and say, I have this, but I don't, you didn't fill out page 5. Then there's someone to talk to about that and at least get that information. Getting them to the consultative exam, that's really important. Again, these are, with the homeless population, we tend to have so little information to go on. And it could be, if there's no medical in there and they go in and they talk to the psych doc and it's their best day ever and they look great, we got nothing else. There's nothing to hang our hat on. And they could be denied saying, okay, they can't function as a CEO, but they could sweep the floor in a factory at night with nobody else around. So it's a tough program. I know.
It is. Well, and
It's a tough
everything is,
program,
right?
but here's your other thing. Once you get to the denial process, now you're going to a different level and the judge can take into consideration things that can't be done at the first level. And it's not a wasted, you didn't waste your time because you can't get there unless you've gone here. So you have to do step 1 to get to step 2. And at least when you get there, you are able to have face-to-face and there are other things that can be taken into consideration. So it isn't like just deny
Right.
all the way around. There are different things.
And the judge has a lot more left.
Yes, we're very restricted.
We're objective, they're subjective.
Yeah.
We have specific guidelines we have to follow.
So, and once you make a medical decision, you send it back to Social Security, correct?
Right.
Okay. So it might be, I don't want to speak for Leslie because she's not here, but it might be, if you do get a denial, it might be good to talk with her as well, because is it Social Security that sends out the denial letter?
Yes.
Right, so it might be good to talk to her as well for some advice.
And just for clarification,
Yes.
it isn't like Sharon and I deciding.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
We don't, this is the hands that are on these things, they're reviewed by the docs, by the doctors, I'm sorry. There are quality assurance people, we could completely work it up and send it out, the doc kicks it back, the QA people, it goes back and forth. So there are a lot of people that get their eyes and hands on these things beforehand. And it's not, like Sharon said, it is objective from our end. We have to go, based on my background, I could say, oh, I have a pretty good idea how this person is functioning and it's not real well. But if the objective evidence, the doc writes down, oh, doing great.
Right.
There's nothing I can do. I can't say, yeah, I know he said he's doing great, but I'm real sure this is, we have to go with what's in front of us. So you go through step 1, don't get discouraged. You guys are doing, this is fabulous. When I was very excited to hear about this to help those people. They need that help. You go through step 1, you got there. You went over the 1 hurdle, now you get to step 2, and you just keep doing what you're doing, get as much information out there as you can, and then when you go for the hearing, you've got the subjective view that's also going to be taken into consideration. That's going to help immensely. In the meantime, if you can keep this person in services, if you can get something that shows a chronological thing.
Can I ask one more, or no? You don't have time.
No, yeah, you can.
Is it okay to ask one more? And I'm just curious about this, and this came from Social Security Administration, and I can show you guys. I don't want to make it all about me. I'm sorry, everybody, but I was calling to find out about another girl that said she made a call-in for an appointment, and I was in the office when she did that, and they were supposed to call, and they never called. So I called Social Security Administration, turned in the 1696 so they could talk to me, and they started talking to me, and I said, okay, well, you know what, we're going to submit an application or whatever, but at least we established the protecting filing date. They put it into the system. And then the other day so we talked about so-and-so eligibility for Social Security income supplemental. Based on the talk we have had, we have made an informal decision that she is not eligible for SSI.
Okay.
But I didn't tell you anything about her.
No, did she have income? SSI is determined by their income.
She, public assistance. But I mean, I don't even think that I talked to this person about, all I just said is, hey, nobody ever called her when she was supposed to, what do we do from here? And they're like, well, we don't have her in the record. I'll put her in the record, okay, or, you know, the system to say that she made the call and established your protecting filing date. And then I get this letter in the mail saying, based on what I told her, she's not eligible. And I'm like, huh?
I don't know, again, that's not in our office, and I know that there's for the Title 16 for the SSI, there are income limits and.
But they wouldn't, how would anybody know her income?
By the Social Security records.
Well, yeah,
They're able to
okay.
look them up. They can see.
But she gets
their
public
earnings
assistance, so she definitely could qualify for this. So I guess I'm confused.
I don't know if there are other reasons that we were denying somebody at that level, and I'm not sure about it.
It's,
I would get somebody, whoever you talk to, make sure you always get their name and phone number.
but it would be like, all right, if I'm 20 years old and I'm living home with mom, and I file, but I'm under my mom's income, I'm denied it because of that. So I don't know what.
I work in a homeless program, so
Right.
everybody's homeless that I am working
Okay.
with, so she would definitely qualify for the income guidelines. I'm waiting for a call back from this person.
I'm sorry, because it's not our office.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's fine. Yeah, and it might be beneficial to also create a My Social Security profile for her, so you can just see what is on record for her, maybe if she has some pending applications out there or something like that.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's
A lot of work.
an incredible amount of work, and it's very frustrating because you start to feel like a cat in a bag, and you know, what's going on? Is that my tail in my mouth? You know, the biggest thing is to just stay calm, know that you're doing the right thing with these people. Reach out to your contact person and do the best you can do. If you get denied, file the appeal and go through the process. They've shortened that up considerably for the time frame, and that's I know they're really pushing, trying to move along with that. The thing with, if you do get a denial, the sooner you get it, the better, because then you can get moving this stuff too. It's, you know, it's try not to be frustrated by it. But like I said, you kind of got it stacked against you with the population that you're working with because of this lack of medical evidence. The other thing is with the disability program, you have to be able to show that they've been continuously or are expected to be continuously disabled for a 12-month period. So even if they're like obviously in need, okay, that there's a serious problem, and it's today, and I've got no history in the back, and, you know, okay, they're in treatment, they go once, and it looks like they might come around, that could be a denial because there's a potential that they're going to be all right before the 12 months is up. There are so many things. Just do the best that you can to get the record. Make sure that you've got that 827, the release, because we can't move without that. Make sure you've got the 1696, because we can't talk to you at all without that. And then make sure that whatever records, any services that you can get them into that'll be supportive of your claim, you know, that so that you've got a paper trail and get them to these appointments with the consultative exams, then that's the best that you can do. If you get that denial, then you move on to the next step and just do your same things that you did the first time, keep going again. But you're gonna maybe have, there is there is at least potential for another, it's not wasted. There is the potential that it could be an allowance at that point.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And yeah, so I want to open it to anyone else that might have any questions on the table.
So for DDS, so if it was like a mental health case or whatnot, mental health claim, how big of a role does like the date of onset of their mental illness play? Like, what if they've only had it like 6 months or less? Like, is that, you know what I mean? Like, does that affect? Does that have a negative effect? Like, you know what I mean? Are they not likely to?
There, if we have that 12-month criteria, it has to be, and the other issue with the 12-month thing is, if I switch it into medical things, just for you to understand, even though you're dealing primarily with the mental health. Someone has a severe car accident on January 1st, and they're disabled for 4 months with surgeries and care, okay? And just before they heal from all their wounds, they have a heart attack. And now they're having cardiac problems for the next 3 months. And so the car accident resolves this. They can have all of these significant things happen in the 12-month period, but none of them lasted for the entire 12 months, and they could still be denied. Okay? There is a difference where there's a cumulative effect with multiple things going on, has such an impact that they could be allowed, even though each individual thing. So there's all kinds of variables going on here. With the mental health thing, if it's only lasted for 6 months, it makes it very difficult, because then how am I to show that it's, first I don't have the 12 months to show that it has, and now I have to guess, how are they going to be 6 months from now? Well, if you get them into a program with some medication and some housing and help and decent food and shelter, you know, they could potentially in 6 months be a functioning person. How likely? Okay, but I can't say, oh yeah, they'll most likely be, you know, unable, they'll be disabled in 6 months. I can no more support that than saying that. So it is difficult. The things that make a difference in that is the medical records. If there's, if you have your healthcare professional saying, you know, they know if somebody comes in, if this looks like something that it's acute, that just, this event just started at this point in time, or if it's, you know, they're psychotic and all of their symptoms are more indicative of a chronic problem. If that shows up in your records, now you got something. We've got something to hang our hat on. Where if it's just, you know, what very often will happen is the people are in tragic shape. They're not functioning, okay? And they do get into treatment and they do come around. And then they stop their treatment, you know, with their medication, depending on the mental illness, they say, oh yeah, I don't need this anymore, I'm doing great. And you get this up and down type thing, and it makes it very difficult, because then you can say, well, it's a denial because they're not doing what they're supposed to do. There is no straight answer, and that 12-month thing is one of the things that we have to abide by. And like I said, it is possible to project it out if you got something in the medical records to hang your hat on, but without it, it's not a guarantee. So even, I mean, just think of it yourself. You're dealing with these people and you know how they are today. And if you really got them on their meds and someone can help them, boy, there's a completely different picture in a couple months. And that's why it makes your job really difficult. Any support that you can have from, we've got the third-party statements also. The third-party people, family members and things, sometimes submits the third-party statements that will say, you know, this, my brother has been living on the streets for 20 years. There's something in there about this chronicity. But the issue there, of course, is how valid is this statement given, you know, if it's my husband and I want the check, and I can say, oh yeah, you know, he's been bad for a real long time. You know, maybe yes, maybe no. So it's weighted too, depending on where it comes from. It's where your healthcare professionals make a big difference.
Right.
So,
Okay, so any other questions on the table? Yeah?
I just got started. I'm not a lot of months. Kind of sign the leases for doctors and things like that. And we tried to go online to get it started. So I'm not clear on if I did it right. Because he was asked information to verify his identity. He came up with a question about what's the last four of your credit card.
Your credit card?
Yeah.
What was that, the Social Security website?
wow.
What application? That was like for disability? I mean, I'm not aware of any of the forms needing a credit card
This was
verification.
just the online
Oh, really?
portion, not even the application.
There's something that's pretty common with credit reports usually, they just want you to verify accounts. So, I mean, it's feasible if they're trying to verify that this is the same person, because of all the fraud going on right now, but
And that's fine, but
it's weird.
Yeah.
there's that kind of a common name also, so maybe that's why, but we couldn't even get into the application because of that, because he had to go get his car, and now he's getting evicted, so he's all over the place.
Oh, wow.
So, and I haven't met with him since, he's kind of hard to meet with.
Mhm.
So I don't even know if I did probably date yet.
You can do it by phone. You can call them.
I can call on his behalf.
Not unless you have the form.
Social Security.
You keep calling for a point.
You could schedule a time with Social Security on your client's behalf, but filling out the form, it's best if you have the applicant with you, just because they know more about themselves than,
Right now, it's a little challenging.
right.
Aside from that, when it comes to medical records, I know if I requested mine, they would say, well, $10 or something.
$10.
So am I gonna run into that issue, because you have like $6?
Yeah, that's a possibility. That's why I want to know who you're reaching out to, so I can kind of pave the way and talk to the medical release offices, tell them about SOAR, who it's actually for, and hopefully we can get some kind of waiver for that process. So yeah, if you want to give me, like, let me know who you're reaching out to, and then I can try to facilitate that process. Okay.
They're trying to get the medical records is the most difficult thing. Other than the claimant cooperation, which providing forms, once it's been trying to get these records. Like I said, some sources won't provide them, some will, and.
Some just don't respond.
Right.
Right, too late.
Right.
Is there like a template letter that we send to the doctors?
Yeah, we have some template letters. I think I sent you one, the last email I sent you.
It's in that folder you
Yeah,
gave
and
us last
it's also
time.
in the fundamentals folder. I have what we give you at the fundamentals training. It's a nifty little folder with a bunch of resources. So I know like half of you have done the fundamentals training here, but if you want to know, yeah, if you need to know like what you will have access to once you complete the training and the fundamentals training, this is it. So you can take a look at this after the meeting. So right now, I just want to see if anyone in GoTo has any questions. I know someone said not at this time, but I just wanted to ask again, see if anybody had any questions from GoTo. That's a nope. So yeah, any more questions on the table? We're kind of running past our time limit, but any more questions? Okay. So if you're in the SOAR pipeline completing the online course, I encourage you to do it. can do it before April 28th. That,
So if you complete the training,
yes,
you're going to receive an email inviting you to the fundamentals training on April 28th. Is that correct? That's what I understood.
yes,
Okay, great.
yes, you will. And also the next meeting for this, for the SOAR planning meeting, including the SSA and DDD dialogue, that will be on April 20th. So same time, same place.
For both meetings?
No, for this meeting is on April 20th, and the SOAR fundamentals training is on the 28th. So
In the time for it, or it'll be in the email?
it'll be in the email, yeah.
Do you want us, if we already went through it, we don't have to go again, or do you want us to go?
No, it's purely for your benefit. Those who have just completed the online course, I really encourage you to come, because that'll be your chance to interact with me on a personal basis, kind of talk about the process, what you want from me, what kind of resources, but also you'll get contacts from DDD and Social Security. So yeah, it's a really good resource. I really encourage everyone who has completed the online course to attend the fundamentals training. All right, so that's the end of our meeting. So thank you everyone for attending, and get on your SOAR applications. All right, and big thanks to everyone at Go2.
You know what it sounds like, that, and it has nothing to do with that, there's such a disconnect between Social Security Administration, Social Security Disability, and that, and the appeals process. So I get what they're saying, I would be saying the same thing, this is my department, but, you know what I mean, you should be able to talk to one Social Security person, and you'd be able to look it up or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm hearing no.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe, I don't know if Leslie can do
yeah, I'm
that.
thinking maybe she
Yeah, that
told
might be
me.
her role.
That's what I'm thinking.
So
I'm just gonna send myself to Leslie when she says to, because I'm thinking she's educated to.
Yeah, she's great.
You know what I mean? I'm thinking she's going, yeah, she got right back to me both times when I knew she was out. I don't want to hound the lady. I just want to get this in, you know what I mean? That was, this case more than any of them, I understand the criteria. This woman should have been getting this 20 years ago. Absolutely. I mean, classic case. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I get their role, but there seems like there's such a disconnect unless you know somebody to call.
Right.
We do that.
Right.
All right, thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Take care. See you next time.
Oh, okay.